And this video I wanted to get over the importance of why we nose load and get into a ready position to swing, even if you're doing a pre-step, if you're doing a toe tap, if you're doing a leg kick. I often see guys trying to get into their reactionary position. It's the position where we actually read and we're capable to adjust and have enough time to read the ball coming off the pitcher's hand, feel the ground ball, feel a fly ball. There's many ways how we use this rhythm position, but for hitting, it's gonna be the one that we wanna dive in today. And from my perspective, the one of the main reasons of why guys are not consistent repeating the same swing because they're not getting to this training position often, and it's hard for them to repeat this position, and then it's also hard for them to repeat the same swing. And it's not necessarily always a problem with the swing. Is the way how we get into this position and repeat this position. Remember that your swing is the byproduct of the way how you position your body. And it's essential to make sure that we often repeat and we're consistent creating and getting into this position. But for instance, we want to use Butler here from the A's. And one of the things that I like from him a lot is the way how he constantly get into the pre-step position. I know he likes to do kind of like a step forward toward the pitcher, then he waits and then he just launch after that. So the main reason what I like to do with him because like this position and these hidden technique that he uses is extremely simple. I seen guys in the league and even in high school trying to use this position in order for them to keep things simple and easier for them to repeat. But I often see guys getting in trouble with how to work with the timing, how early they should do it, and what to do after that front foot is landing into the ground. So the main problem that I see guys doing is when they do this pre-step here, they do it when the ball's in the air. The only problem with that is like when you just getting your front foot like into the ground, when you just getting that front heel into the ground and the ball's already in the air, you're gonna rush. You're not gonna have enough time to read and react in case that it's a fastball, it's a breaking ball. So you're pretty much guessing and trying to make everything happen at once. So you kind of like work when you're swing and do everything so quick that it's hard for you to repeat the same patterns, to repeat delivering the barrel to the right direction. So he he likes to do after he do his pre-step, he likes to take another short step forward. For guys who doesn't do that, um, the great example, the best example that we have is Shohei Ohtani. He do the same pre-step, but he only peeled the front heel off the ground. He do the pre-step with the front heel off the ground, but then he still work with his positive move. That's the second problem that I see from guys who like to apply this type of techniques with their mechanics. They just they just do that pre-step and they just spin off the ground. They just swing. It's essential to make sure that when we practice this type of techniques, we cannot skip the forward or the positive move phase of your swing. That's when pretty much the magic happens. That's when you create extension, where you create stretch and separation from your front hip to your back shoulder. But if you just land with your front foot in the ground and you just swing or you just spin, we're losing not just power, speed, we're also losing space and direction. So I wanted to show you how early, and I'm gonna just play this video on regular speed. So we go here, and then you guys can notice there's like a couple seconds before he actually launch and start swinging. Again, guys start going from here, and they just going right straight into their swing, not having enough time to read and to adjust to make a good and a repeatable swing just because everything is so quick. They're trying to make everything happen at the same time. and then they start rushing, and it's hard for them to repeat their swing. It's not a problem with their swing. It's not a problem with their skills or the ability to hit. It's just like they're not constantly. Oh, it's hard for them to repeat getting into these rhythm positions that that I covered that I mentioned earlier, and it's extremely hard for them to be consistent at the plate just because like it's they're not being efficient with the way how they get into this rhythm position. And the other one that I want to make sure we do is like the forward move. So that forward or positive move is often overlooked by hitters. They often either create that positive move when they're front side. The problem with that is like it's hard for them to be under control of that positive move. That positive move have to come from the backside because if you don't, it's gonna be hard for you to be in fully control when you're moving forward and you start lunging, you start spinning, or it's hard for you to use the ground to leverage and delivery the barrel into the right direction, creating torque and adjustability during your swing. And that's the most common mistakes that I see guys with with their mechanics, especially when they're just doing the pre-step or when they're doing the toe tap too as well. The backside always have to be the the leader of that forward move. And the most important one is timing. If you have any question about the way how you're supposed to be working with your timing, um can just leave the comment here, can just reach out to me on Slack, and we can just dive deep more into like your specific case and your specific mechanics, swim mechanics. So it's gonna be more customizable and easier for you to speed up and make sure that we covering all these check boxes, and we often get into these positions where it's gonna be a lot easier for you to repeat and have a more consistent one.